There are some questions that science was never meant to ask. Questions that push the boundaries of reason and logic and venture into the unknown. What happens after we die? Is there a soul? Can we contact what lies beyond? For most, these are matters of faith, philosophy, or fear. But for a select few, they were grounds for experimentation. These are the stories of brilliant minds who dared to apply the scientific method to the greatest mystery of all, the afterlife. Number 5. Duncan McDougall and the Weight of the Soul. At the dawn of the 20th century, a physician from Massachusetts, Dr. Duncan McDougall, became obsessed with a single, profound question. If the soul is real, does it have mass? He believed that if he could prove the soul had physical weight, he could prove its existence. So he devised a chilling experiment. He constructed a special bed mounted on a highly sensitive industrial scale and placed dying patients upon it. His goal was to weigh a human at the exact moment of death. After several attempts with tuberculosis patients, he observed a sudden, inexplicable drop in weight in his first subject, exactly 21 grams. Though his subsequent experiments yielded inconsistent results and his methods were heavily criticized, the idea lodged itself into the public imagination. A number, a ghostly measurement that suggests our very essence, might be more than just a chemical reaction. A phantom weight that science has never been able to replicate or forget. Number 4. Konstantin Raudive and the Voices of the Dead. In the static between radio stations, have you ever thought you heard a voice? For Latvian psychologist Konstantin Raudive, this wasn't just imagination, it was a gateway. Building on the work of Friedrich Jürgensen, Raudive dedicated his life to capturing what he called electronic voice phenomena, or EVP. He would sit for hours in a soundproof room with a radio receiver and a tape recorder, documenting thousands of disembodied voices he believed were speaking from another dimension. These whispers, often in multiple languages and responding to direct questions, seemed to be ghosts in the machine. While skeptics dismissed it as auditory pareidolia, the brain finding patterns in random noise, Raudive's recordings were unnerving. The fragments of speech he captured, faint and distorted, felt like echoes from a place we cannot see. A haunting reminder that even in silence, something might be listening. Number 3. Sir William Crookes and the Materialization of Katie King. Sir William Crookes was one of the most respected scientists of the Victorian era, a chemist and physicist, a Fellow of the Royal Society, and the inventor of the Crookes tube, which led to the discovery of the X-ray. So when he announced he was investigating spiritualism, the scientific community was stunned. His most famous investigation centered on a young medium named Florence Cook, who claimed to channel a spirit named Katie King. Over 3 years, in his own laboratory under controlled conditions, Crookes claimed to witness, photograph, and even touch the fully materialized form of Katie. He documented her walking, talking, and interacting with him, even taking a lock of her hair. His colleagues accused him of delusion or of being duped by a clever fraud. But Crookes, a man of empirical evidence, stood by his findings until his death. He insisted that what he saw was real, leaving a disturbing question. Did a world-renowned scientist fall for a simple trick, or did he truly shake hands with a ghost? Number 2. Thomas Edison's spirit phone. Thomas Edison, the father of modern invention, gave us the light bulb and the phonograph. He was a man of practical, tangible creations. Yet in the final years of his life, he revealed a secret project, one far stranger than any other. In an interview, Edison claimed he was working on a device to communicate with the dead. He theorized that life, or personality, was composed of indestructible units, like a swarm of bees that scatter upon death but retain their intelligence. His spirit phone was designed to be sensitive enough to detect these entities. Edison believed the voices of the departed were all around us. We just lacked the proper instrument to hear them. No prototype was ever found after his death, and the plans vanished. Did he fail, or did he succeed and destroy the evidence, fearing what he had unleashed? The thought of Edison, a titan of logic, secretly trying to build a bridge to the afterlife, is perhaps more unsettling than any ghost story. Number 1. Dr. Raymond Moody and the Near-Death Experience. In 1975, a physician and philosopher named Dr. Raymond Moody published a book that changed our cultural understanding of death forever. Titled Life After Life, it didn't involve machines or mediums. His laboratory was the human mind itself. Moody collected the stories of over 100 people who had been declared clinically dead and then resuscitated. What he found was astonishing. Across different ages, religions, and backgrounds, the accounts were remarkably similar. A feeling of floating out of their body, moving through a dark tunnel towards a brilliant light, meeting deceased loved ones, and a profound sense of peace. He coined the term near-death experience. While neuroscientists attempt to explain these phenomena as hallucinations from a dying brain, the consistency and transformative power of these experiences challenge a purely biological explanation. Moody's work didn't prove the existence of an afterlife, but it opened a door. It revealed a map of a journey that thousands claim to have taken, a glimpse into a final frontier from which they returned, forever changed. From the weight of a departing soul to the whispers in the static, the search for what lies beyond the veil continues. These scientists, driven by curiosity, grief, or pure intellectual ambition, chose not to look away from the darkness. They stepped into it. Their work remains on the fringe, a collection of unsettling footnotes in the history of science, but they remind us that the boundary between what we know and what we believe is thinner than we think. The truth doesn't disappear. It simply waits in the silence for the right question to be asked. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy exploring the hidden corners of our world, consider subscribing and joining us for our next investigation.